If you want to change anything about your life, just do the things that you don't feel like doing. It really does boil down to that. You're never going to feel like doing the things you need to do to have what you want. Your mind isn't wired that way. It will try to make you feel like things are too big. It'll try to make you feel like things are too scary. It'll try to make you feel like now's not the time. I think it's really important that what you realize about your life is that you're never going to feel like it. And if you start to push forward and take action anyway, it's like any other muscle. Over time, you slowly start building the muscle of taking action. You start building the muscle of not listening to your own crud. You start building the muscle of ignoring what your mind is telling you and operating from your desires instead of your fears.
If you really want something bad enough, it's not going to be easy. And you can see where you want to go. But there are so many things you're going to have to go through to get there. But truly, if you focus and know where you want to end up, you'll be there. It may not be at the exact time you want, which is now kind of immediate for most people, but you'll eventually get there at your time when you're supposed to.
Everybody has the desire to do something, but they don't have they don't know how to really complete the process of dedicating themselves and having the discipline to do it. I think a lot of people set these goals for themselves, and when they don't reach them, then it's discouraging, and sometimes you need somebody to push themselves. You have to look at the bigger picture. You have to have belief in yourself, and you have to have faith in yourself. And faith is not really just having or understanding that everything will be okay, but faith is understanding that if things don't go your way, or if it doesn't turn out the way you want to, it's still going to be okay.
You have to make that decision and say, I'm going to do this. Not I'm thinking about doing this. That's why I say you have to love it. Do you love it as much as you would die for it? Because once you do that, then anything that you're thinking about, whether if it's writing a book, whether if it's creating an invention, whether if it's flying through the air like LeBron, anything, if you love it, you're going to be that.
You make decisions, it's up to you. You know, you make choices in your life. You program your mind to either be happy or not. That's a choice that you make. It's not something that somebody else makes for you. It's not even your situation. No matter what the situation, you truly do make the choice to be happy in that situation or not.
As a teenager, I was bullied, picked on. I got beat up. Didn't have any girlfriends. No girls liked me. People on the outside world really probably don't understand that I went through real life things. My desire was just like anybody else's, but what set me apart was I dedicated myself, and there was a discipline to me to do the things that guys don't do. They just don't sacrifice.
Anything you want, you can get, but you have to be honest about it. In order to be successful at anything, it has to be what you truly love. Because if you don't love it and you ain't willing to die for it, don't do it.
I'm an ordinary guy that have done definitely some extraordinary things. So I know that literally if I can make it, anybody else can make it if they apply themselves.
Discipline is not punishment. It's not. Discipline is training. That's all it is.
You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a business? Where do you start? You start right here. And when do you start? You start right now. You initiate the action aggressively. You go. Because the idea isn't going to execute itself. And the book isn't going to write itself. And the weights out in the gym, they're not going to move themselves. You have to do it, and you have to do it now.
What you do every day is simply your life in miniature. And as you live every single day, so you're crafting your life. What you do over the next hours is really building your future.
Greatness in any field, greatness cannot be achieved without obsession. If you want to be the best, you must be obsessed.
Take that first step and make it happen. Get after it. And get after it here and now.
So whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in life, the critical component is getting things done.
The thing about self-discipline is that it is necessary for everything you do in your life. You have to be self-disciplined.
Do not say you don't have access to the right things, because that's an automatic excuse. Sometimes you have to do these transitional jobs to get to where you have to go to, but it's okay. If you gotta sell bed sheets, sell these bed sheets. Do what you have to do it with pride. But at the same time, do not let any job that you do kill your dream. Because the only thing that can make you feel alive is your dream.
Why is it so hard to do the little things that would improve my life? The way that our minds are designed is our minds are designed to stop you at all costs from doing anything that might hurt you. There are so many people in the world, and you know, you may be watching this right now, and you have these incredible ideas, and what you think is missing is motivation. And that's not true. Because the way that our minds are wired, and the fact about human beings, is that we are not designed to do things that are uncomfortable or scary or difficult. Our brains are designed to protect us from those things because our brains are trying to keep us alive. And in order to change, in order to build a business, in order to be the best parent, the best spouse, to do all those things that you know you want to do with your life, with your work, with your dreams, you're going to have to do things that are difficult, uncertain, or scary, which sets up this problem for all of us.
The one thing we have in this world is we can't control the events, but we can choose what to focus on, we can choose what things mean, and we can choose what to do. Those three choices, those three decisions really control our life.
You can always make a decision. That's always in your control. Staying with somebody that treats you like garbage is a decision. It is. Staying at a job that you hate is a decision. Staying in the body that you are not proud of is a decision. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be easy to change. It's simple. It's your job to push yourself.
It's not the smartest people who achieve success. It's the people who procrastinate less, make fewer excuses, as they take actions every day towards the goals that they want to achieve.
Indecision is the thief of opportunity. Indecision means the door is still closed. Indecision means the opportunity waits. Indecision means what could be is postponed or may never be.
If you want to be successful in anything in life, never leave the sight of setting a goal without doing something that commits you to fulfillment.
The next morning, the alarm goes off, and I pretended NASA was there. It's the stupidest story. I literally went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I counted out loud, and then I stood up. And I'll never forget standing there in my bedroom. It was dark, it was cold, it was winter in Boston. And for the first time in 3 months, I had beaten my habit of hitting the snooze button. There were moments all day long
all day long, just like that 5-second moment in bed, where I knew knowledge what I should do. And if I didn't move within 5 seconds, my brain would step in and talk me out of it. Every human being has a 5-second window. It might even be shorter for you. You have about a 5-second window in which you can move from idea to action before your brain kicks into full gear and sabotages any change in behavior.
Your life is what you think it should be. That's exactly what you are right now. You are what you thought you should be. And if you don't like who you are, you got to change what you think you should be. What you think is more important than what you do. And so if you want to change, you got to work on this attitude bit.
Decide, commit, act, succeed, repeat. The one thing that all the greats have in common is they sweat the small stuff. They pay very, very close attention to every detail.
What makes you comfortable can ruin you. And what makes you uncomfortable is the only way to grow.
What you are and what you become depends on how you use your time. The billionaire and the beggar both have 24 hours every day. The old and the young, the black and the white, the Indian and the Asian are all given the same amount of time every day. You cannot stop a day. You cannot stop an hour. But you can control how it will be used.
Your life comes down to your decisions, and if you change your decisions, you will change everything. When you understand the power of a 5-second decision, and you understand that you always have a choice to go from autopilot to decision maker, everything in your life will change. You will be a different negotiator, you will be different in sales, you will be unstoppable in the gym, because you will realize the amount of garbage that you put in the way of your hopes, of your dreams, of your potential, of your confidence, of your courage. Everything comes down to the decisions that you make.
Take ownership. Take extreme ownership. Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Get control of your ego. Take ownership of everything in your world, the good and the bad. Take ownership of your mistakes. Take ownership of your shortfalls. Take ownership of your problems. And then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved. Take ownership of your mission. Take ownership of your job, of your team, of your future, and take ownership of your life.
The first source of inspiration is deciding. Second source of inspiration is planning. And now, here's a big source of inspiration, beginning. Getting started. Actually turning thought and the notes on the paper, the plans, actually now committing it to action. Getting started.
I'm a humongous believer that ideas are and that execution's the game.
Well, I think the one thing that discipline definitely does help you with is it helps you get things done. And when you get things done, when you actually do things, you have more success. If you have more success, and sometimes a big part of success is just not being f***ing lazy and just doing it. Yeah. That's like 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not going to feel perfect every day. If I only worked out when I felt good, I'd be a fat f***.
Discipline, it does start with waking up early. It really does. But that is just the beginning. And I always say that discipline is the root of all good qualities. But you have to absolutely apply it to things outside of just waking up early. It's everything. It's working out every day, making yourself stronger and faster and more flexible and healthier. Discipline is eating the right foods to fuel your system. It's about disciplining your emotions so you can make good decisions. Doing the tasks that you don't necessarily want to do, but that you know will help you.
The thing about self-discipline is that it is necessary for everything you do in your life. You have to be self-disciplined. Discipline is not punishment. It's not. If you change your mindset and really focus it on what discipline really is, you start to welcome discipline. You welcome self-discipline into your life.
You people have to know you, not because, oh, he's a good salesman. Oh, he's a good this. Oh, he's an artist. People need to know you for one major thing first. He works. He produces. The guy's there every day. The guy's pushing and shoving. Because the truth is, no matter how good your ideas are, how good your art is, or how good your skill set is, if you're not working, man, if you're not vibrating at a frequency that people say, my God, how does that guy do all that? If you're not vibrating at that rate, if you're not working at that level, you're not going to make it.
Decide, commit, act, succeed, repeat.
If you want to be an impactful personality, you have to develop certain types of thinking and perceptions that change the way you see yourself and see the world.
No matter what you want to do in life, no matter what your ambition is, that your dreams can come true if you persevere, if you work hard, and if you realize that what you might think is impossible is possible in today's world.
Well, you have to keep yourself focused on whatever your ultimate goal is. There's stumbling blocks all the way. People get laid off, you have a bad game, you get traded from a team that you don't want to be with. But if your goal and your focus remains the same, that, hey, this is going to happen, and I know I have the skills and I have the knowledge and I have the instincts to dig myself out of this hole, you will dig yourself out of the hole. You have to control the situation. Don't let the situation control you.
Your life is what you think it should be. That's exactly what you are right now. You are what you thought you should be. And if you don't like who you are, you got to change what you think you should be. What you think is more important than what you do. And so if you want to change, you got to work on this attitude bit.
When you take on a massive change, whether it's trying to diet after a lifetime of being overweight, or maybe running your first race after a lifetime of never ever exercising, or maybe it's starting to date again after you lost your spouse to cancer. When you confront something that's going to require you to change your behavior, you basically come face to face with the gap between who you are right now and the future person you want to be.
So you need to foster the belief in what you are dreaming so that it becomes a reality, which is very different than saying, I don't expect anybody to believe it until I see it. You need people to believe it before they can see it.
Here is how you can assure yourself to enjoy yourself during the process of whatever it is you're trying to achieve. I want you to get this, because it starts as soon as you open up your eyes in the morning, or whenever it is that you start the day. As soon as you open up your eyes to greet the day, you enter into consciousness. It is at that moment that your creativity is at its most powerful. Right there and then, you have an opportunity to steer your thoughts and your emotions in the direction that you want them to go, not in the direction that they're telling you to go. In other words, you can literally choose to seize the day, or you can let the day seize you.
Nothing works the first time. When you try something new, it probably won't work. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
Every time you lose at something, you're one step closer to winning the next time. The difference between successful people and not successful people, let's call it that way, are people give up. People wake up every morning, they have doubt, they have fear, they lose in a Ferrari race or they lose in a race, and then they just give up. The hardest thing in life to learn is to lose. Winning's easy. You win, you're happy, you get a high five, your friends are happy. It's your ability to take a loss, get up the next day, dust yourself off, and keep going.
This isn't about playing basketball like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade. There's guys in the NBA that never gonna play basketball like them. This is about being able to think like a champion, know what goes on in their heads, understand how you can relate it to your business and whatever you do to take yourself to the next level. Remember, the mind controls the body does not control the mind. What makes these guys special and successful in everything they do is not their physical gifts, it's their mental toughness. They have the ability not to think when everyone else is thinking.
So what I want you to do, as soon as you open up your eyes to start the day, is to immediately start focusing on something or someone that you are totally grateful for in your life. I don't care what it is or who it is, but I want you to feel it with your heart and soul. Your only goal as soon as you open up your eyes should be to make yourself feel good and to give yourself enough confidence to get through the day. Don't worry about what needs to be done. Think about who you have to be in order to get it done.
I believe the emotions that many of us consider negative, like frustration and rejection and pain, can be our greatest friends because they can drive us to success. You know what? I think one of the things that happens for a lot of people when they get successful is they get superstitious. It's like they work so hard for the success and they now finally have it, so all of a sudden they don't change, they don't vary their behavior, they kind of like want to stay the way things are. They get incredibly conservative and they miss out on the juice of life. Stay out of the trap. Listen, when people succeed, they tend to party. When they fail, they tend to ponder. Now, the pondering, many times we create our greatest successes in life. Just remember, it's impossible to fail. If you try something and it doesn't work, just try something else and learn something from what you just did. As long as you learn something, you've succeeded. Start with something small if you want, and then build. But right now, write down 2 decisions you've made, and then take action on them immediately. I mean, right now. I mean, even before I finish talking here, stop the tape, pick up the phone, and make that call you've been waiting for. Do not put it off another minute. I don't care what it takes. There's power in momentum. I'm a big believer that once you set a goal, once you make a decision, you should immediately, in that moment, do something to start making progress towards it. That way you can't cop out later on or get caught up or lose your momentum. So please do it now. And I know not all things can be done right now, so maybe it's something you have to do tomorrow morning. But whatever you're going to do, make the decision and then commit to follow through and then check in tomorrow. Because this is the first step to grabbing your personal power.
Remember this. So you got to get out there. You got to give it everything you got, whether it's your time, your talent, your prayers, or your treasures.
What's an area that you came here with that it's time to break through? What's an area of your life that is not the way you want it?
What is it that gets you up in the morning and it gets you excited? What do you want to do as a kid? How would you really go and make an impact on the world? For me, the world's biggest problems are the world's biggest business opportunities. When I become a billionaire and help 1 billion people, there is nothing we cannot do. It's really a matter of setting a focused goal, because without a target, you'll miss it every time. Picking a target and then picking the steps along the way and realizing that all the resources, all the capital, all the expertise is there. But ultimately, it's only going to be tapped if that target is in your heart and your soul.
I think the challenge is a lot of people don't know what their vision is. They don't know exactly what they want.
They think they know, but they haven't really written it down. They haven't told the world, or at least their close network of friends. They're just like, well, I'm supposed to have a good job, I'm supposed to be doing something inspiring, but they're not specifically saying it and specifically being intentional about it.
Ultimately, the thing that stops you is your mindset. Either you don't want to take the risk, you don't believe you truly can, and then the option there is to take it incrementally, take a first step.
To me, failure in life is not having money. It's not realizing your potential. You're 60 years old and you said, I could have been this, and I never did it. That's like the worst thought I think anybody can have. And you don't think about it in the moment because your life is okay. But you've got to wake up and understand that there's an urgency here. And that if you're not practicing something now, if you're not aware, if you don't have a path towards something better, you're rotting on the vine, and the day of reckoning will come at some point, and it will be painful.
My mother beat the shit out of me. She loved me. She was freaked out I was gonna leave. I was her source of everything. I blame her for all the beauty in my life. I blame her that I have the woman I have in my life because I cherish my wife, because I know what the opposite is. I blame her for the capacity to feel and care. I blame her for my insatiable hunger to end suffering for any human I can. Because I suffered a ton. If she had been the mother I had wanted, I would not be the man I am proud to be.
Embrace pain. Pain is something to embrace. If there's no resistance to you, you're not going to get anywhere in life.
Problems are what make us grow. Problems are what sculpt our soul. Problems are what make us become more. If we can realize that life is always happening for us, not to us, game over. All the pain and suffering disappears. When someone says it took 10 years to make a change, what we really find out is that change happened in a moment. It took you 10 years to get the moment you finally said, never again. I quit. Let's begin. I love you. I do. It's over. Our entire life changes in a moment.
You want to get better? You want to self-improve? Stop looking for a shortcut and go find your alarm clock. Find your discipline. And find your guts and your passion and your drive and find your will.
We want to believe that there are shortcuts to success. We want to believe we can take a drug or we can do something that'll make it quick and easy. But the truth is, it takes grit. It takes persistence. It's the people like Thomas Edison, who had no education, who came from very poor background, who really end up making it in life because they are persistent and they don't settle for anything remotely mediocre.
It isn't a quick path, and there are no shortcuts. Meditation won't get you there, and neither will a miracle drug or an organic supplement or some superfood. Getting better isn't a hack or a trick or a one change that you need to make. Getting better is a campaign. It's a campaign. It's a daily, a weekly, it's an hourly fight. An incessant fight that doesn't stop against weakness and against temptation and against laziness. It's a campaign of discipline. It's a campaign of hard work and dedication. It's waking up early and going to bed late and grinding out every second in between. Every single day. Don't just listen. Don't just listen. Do. I'm not just talking. So you know, I'm not just talking. I'm doing. And I don't want you to just listen. Put this information to work. Make today count. Every day. Don't hesitate. Step forward and get after it.
See, I believe part of our responsibility in life is to find out who we are. You were intentionally created for a myriad of purposes. There are many things we can do with our lives. And I think it's our job to find out what those things are and to do them as well as we possibly can so that we're passing along the right imprint for the next generation.
You can't rearrange them. The seasons are going to come however they're going to come. You cannot change that. So you cannot change the seasons. But make this note. You can change yourself.
The most important thing? Self-confidence. Without that skill, and I use the word skill intentionally, without that skill, we are useless as a soccer player. Because when you lose sight or belief in yourself, we're done for. I use the definition of self-confidence to be the ability or the belief to believe in yourself to accomplish any task, no matter the odds, no matter the difficulty, no matter the adversity. The belief that you can accomplish it.
The only thing that you can control that influences success in life is how hard you work, how honest you are, and how well you deal with others. You can control those variables.
So ask yourself every day, how would the person I'd like to be do the things I'm about to do?
And he said, if you will start that process of change, do something different the next 90 days than you did the last 90 days, like picking up the books to read. Do something different, like the new health disciplines, relationship with your family, whatever it is, doesn't matter how small it is. If you'll start doing different things with the same circumstances, since we cannot change the circumstances, but we can change ourselves. We can change what we do.
Change happens in a moment. A breakthrough happens in a moment. What is a breakthrough? A breakthrough is that moment in time where suddenly the impossible becomes possible. Not just intellectually, but you do something about it.
Make this note. You got to take a chance. Drive your tendency to be too cautious. Drive it into a small corner. Yes, you can't be gullible. No, you can't go for everything. Yes, you've got to be careful. Yes, but don't be so cautious that it paralyzes you. Don't be so cautious that it restricts your chance to do better.
Only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible. You have to be able to see what doesn't exist in order to be able to pull off or achieve what in most people's minds seems to be impossible. Only those that can see the invisible, being able to see what's not there. What is your vision? What is your idea? What was that God-sent dream? Only those that can see the invisible can do what seems to be impossible.
If you will change, everything will change for you. You don't have to change what's outside. All you've got to change is what's inside. To have more, you simply have to become more.
I mean, to want and to be ambitious and to want to be successful is not enough.
If life doesn't match your blueprint, you either have to change your life. That is, you got to say, you know what, my body isn't there, I'm going to go work out. My relationship isn't there, I'm going to change it. You know, I'm not making what I got to make, I'm going to retool, I'm going to get a new skill, I'm going to go back to school, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to do something. You have to do something to change your life. Or In order for you to be happy, if you can't change your life, you're going to have to change your blueprint.
People that don't have any dreams for themselves, they tend to be dream killers. People that don't have their own visions, they become vision killers. They want nothing more than to talk you out of your own visions. They don't have dreams for themselves. They don't have any hopes. They're hopeless. They're uninspired, unmotivated. They have no dreams. They have nothing that they're ambitious about. But I want to remind you to continue to dream and dream big.
There's enough people that are telling us we can't do it, that we're not good enough.
I want to reassure you that you can do it. I want you to reassure you that you can make the decisions. Any year you choose, you can make incredible changes in your life. You're not a tree, you don't have to stay. You're not a goose, you don't have to fly south. I'm telling you, anytime you want to, you can say, I'm going to change my attitude, I'm going to change my income, I'm going to change my abilities, I'm going to do more than I've ever done before. Take on that as your God-given right as a human being to change your life to whatever degree you want it to change. You can change yourself. And by the way, only human beings have this extraordinary ability to make dramatic changes in their life.
Do you believe that it's possible to bring something from the world of the formless, from the world of a dream, into the world of the physical? Most of us were raised to become ordinary. Ordinary is you go through your life and you fill out the forms and you pay your taxes and you do what your parents tell you and you're honorable and you're honest and you're a good citizen and then you die. Extraordinary is something very, very different. This is about recognizing within yourself that there's something very, very extraordinary that you haven't been trained to believe in, to come to a place where you can apply it and put it into your life. You can go way beyond ordinary. You can go way beyond just being average.
Here's the big challenge of life. You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. Unless you change how you are, you'll always have what you got.
If you want to live in your passion, whatever your passion is, you have to be willing to not make money at it. You want to do what you love, you got to do, you have a choice. You can choose money or you can choose what you love. My parents, and I'm sure like most people's parents, say, get a good job, try and make some money, make a good living.
Yep.
And because they think that's secure if you go and make money. But if you do a job and you make money and you lose that job, then you lose the money and you have nothing. If you choose your passion, it actually doesn't matter whether you make money or lose money because you're always going to have your passion to be happy, so it doesn't actually matter.
That's your safety net.
Right. But the challenge of that is that it might be 8 years or 4 years before you're actually making a living at it versus something else.
Most people go through life using up a very, very small part of their potential. And so anything you do that invests in yourself, that's the best investment you can possibly make. And then I would follow my passion. I mean, whatever turns you on. You know, I was lucky. I found something early that turned me on. But you don't want to take a job just for the money. You don't want to take a job for an organization that you really don't feel good about or work for people that you don't feel good about. You really want to be excited when you get out of bed every morning. And it won't necessarily be the job that you have 10 years later, but you'll be learning so much as you go along. And you know, I took a job with Ben Graham, my hero. You know, I never asked the salary, and I found at the end of the month when I got my first paycheck what I was earning because I just knew it was the right thing to be doing. So follow your passion.
Instead of thinking about where you can make a lot of money, think about what are you so passionate about doing that you'd be happy doing it for 10 years, and even if you never made a dime, and that's what you should be doing. And kind of the ironic thing is the money will actually follow. Don't chase the paper, chase the dream.
most of the people are going to earn a living. They'll eat, they'll live, they'll be fine. Beyond that, there should be something to do that's useful. That's something that says, okay, I did something.
It doesn't matter how many times you fail. You only have to be right one time. Then everybody can call you an overnight success. If you do the preparation, it doesn't mean that it won't be a little bit scary, but you don't have to quit the daytime job if you don't feel all that comfortable, and you can give it a run at night. But whatever works for you now with the internet, you've got all the choices in the world, and you can just go out there and do your own thing.
When I meet somebody who's doesn't have any money, it just means they're not giving something. Yeah. So a lot of times there's people who would like more, but they're not giving anything. Yeah. So they're like my poor dad. He belonged to the labor unions, and he wanted to work less and get paid more. If you want to get paid more, work more, give more. That's how I see it.
Somebody once said, if you took all the money in the world, divided it up equally among everybody, it would soon all be back in the same pockets. Incredible. Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. So instead of going after it, you work on yourself. Personal development.
It's one thing that's going to make you wealthy. It's turning your expectation into appreciation. That's the day you become wealthy. The day you trade expectation for appreciation is the day you become wealthy. Because as long as you're expecting things, you're going to be disappointed. You're expecting people to be a certain way. They're not going to be. If the only time you're happy is when they all act and behave a certain way, you're not going to be happy very much. So the first place to be wealthy is psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. And that place has to get regular deposits. And that means, just like some of you meditate, you need a daily discipline of magic moments, and you got to learn to capture the little ones. And that muscle's got to be built. So what's your daily practice? You can call it whatever you want. We'll call it here magic moments. Every day I want you to capture at least 2 to 3 magic moments minimum. It could have been a conversation with a friend. It could have been a moment when an insight happened. It could have been a moment on the mountain. It could have been a little insight or distinction that you got that changed it. But you don't just capture it and write it down. You want to feel it and realize its value. You want to feel it like it's grace, like it's a gift that's been given to you. And what you're doing is appreciating that gift.
Because true happiness is not contained in what you get. Happiness is contained in what you become.
There was a day that I became wealthy. I'll tell you the day, I know that day I was rich. I was broke. I was pissed. I was angry at everybody else but who? Myself. But really underneath it, I was mad at myself. I just couldn't beat myself up anymore, so I was pissed. And I had a friend that I loaned money to when I had barely enough, and I knew he needed it. And I gave him $1,200, and I'm here not able to eat. I'm down to like $25, $26. And I'm saying to him, calling him, and he's not returning my call. And I just need some money, and he's ignoring me. I didn't ignore him then, so I'm pissed. I'm frustrated. In the midst of all this, I'm also pragmatic. I got 25 and change, call it $26. What the hell am I gonna do? This little boy comes in, dressed in a little suit, and he was so adorable, and he opened the door for his mother, and his mother was an attractive lady, and he came over and he pulled out the seat for her, and she sat down, and it moved me. I don't know why, it moved me. And I thought, this kid is like pure. I wanted to always be this way. He's such a good kid, he's a giver. So I got up and I paid for the meal, and whatever it was, $6, $7. So now I've got whatever left, $17, $18, $19. And I walk up to this little boy, and I had no plan for this. I just reached in my pocket, I took all the money I had left, $17, $18, $19, and I put it on the table. I should have been freaking out. How the fuck am I gonna eat? But I didn't, because something inside of me had finally got past scarcity. I finally realized there's something inside of us more than our limits, especially around this thing called money, that I had let terrorize me. And I got home, And the mailman came that day, and I had no idea I was going to have my next meal. And a letter comes, and it's from the guy I loaned the money to. Handwritten notes saying, I've been avoiding you. It's wrong. I'm so sorry. You were there when I needed you. Here's what I owe you, plus a little bit more. And the $1,200 was there, plus another $100 for the time that I had to take care of it. And for me, $1,300, that was enough to run my show for a month or two. And I cried. And then I decided, what does this mean? And I thought, this means that whenever you give, it's always going to come back, so you don't have to ever think about that again. Just give. And the rewards will be greater than you can ever imagine. I don't know if that's coincidence, but I decided to believe that day was a blessing when I became rich. And I can tell you honestly, I've had tough days in my life, economically, emotionally, like all of us. But I've never gone back to that scarcity. I never will. The secret to living is giving.